Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news now, Steelers Nation. You better sit tight because what I'm about to share could shake up the entire AFC North and reshape the Steelers' prospects for the coming seasons. Rumors are swirling. Whispers from some of the most trusted sources in the league, like Adam Schefter, suggest that a Blockbuster trade might be in the works. And this isn't just any deal. It involves a player who could be an absolute game-changer for Pittsburgh. We're talking about Waddle, the Miami Dolphins' star wide receiver, possibly heading north in a trade that could redefine the Steelers' offensive potential and playoff chances. Let's break down what's happening here, because it's pretty explosive. According to sources, Waddle, who's been a bright spot in Miami, might be traded to Pittsburgh in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. That's right. A first-rounder, a future draft capital, in exchange for a player who's already proven himself as one of the league's top young receivers. The Dolphins, sitting at 3-6, are clearly in a rebuild mode. Their offense has struggled, and they're trying to cut costs, reportedly saving around $5 million in cap space for the future, and focusing on youth and development. Miami's offense has been leaking points, allowing nearly 28 points per game over 9 games, with some games especially tough. They're now prioritizing extending their offensive line, freeing up cap space, and giving more opportunities to younger players. Meanwhile, the Steelers, sitting at a solid 5-4, are eyeing this potential move as a way to elevate their passing attack, which has been decent but not quite explosive enough to consistently threaten top-tier defenses. Imagine Waddle, a 2-time Pro Bowler, lining up in Pittsburgh. He's been lighting up the league in 2025 with impressive stats: 46 receptions on 66 targets, 670 yards, a 14, 6 yards per catch average, and 5 touchdowns. His PFF grade of 84. 5 puts him comfortably in the top 10 among WRs, and his EPA per target of 0. 22 shows his efficiency. Not to mention his yards after catch, averaging 4.8 yards per reception, making him a threat in the open field. His ability to make contested catches at a 42% rate and separate from defenders by around 2 yards per route makes him a perfect fit for Pittsburgh's style of play. What makes Waddle such an intriguing target for the Steelers is his ability to stretch defenses and create explosive plays, especially in a system that could benefit from his speed and route running. His addition could dramatically increase the Steelers' passing yards, projected to add over 100 yards on the season, and boost their red zone efficiency, which has been a bit inconsistent. Waddle's chemistry and playmaking talent could also ease the burden on George Pickens, who has been solid with a PFF grade of 75.2, but still has room to grow as a primary target. The potential pairing of Waddle and Pickens could give Pittsburgh a dynamic duo capable of challenging defenses deep and opening up the field on quick-hitter routes. Now, the interesting part is the context of this trade. Miami is in a tough spot, trying to rebuild with a focus on their offensive line and younger talent. They've scored only 224 points so far, far below their offensive potential, and have had issues with turnovers and consistency. Waddle, despite being a top-tier receiver, is on a team that's not quite clicking, and the Dolphins are prioritizing cap flexibility and youth. Their focus appears to be on extending their offensive line, potentially freeing up around $12 million in cap space, and building through the draft and younger players. On the other hand, the Steelers, with a cap space of roughly $3.5 million, see this as a golden opportunity. They're in the middle of a competitive AFC North with a chance to push for the playoffs, especially if they add a weapon like Waddle. Their offense, averaging around 23.6 points per game, could see a significant uptick. With Waddle, the projection is an increase of over 18% in EPA per pass, more red zone touchdowns, and an overall elevation of the offense's efficiency. His ability to win contested catches, around 37%, and make plays against top cornerbacks like Ward makes him an even more valuable asset. Waddle's speed and route running would also alleviate some pressure on the offensive line, giving quarterback Kenny Pickett more options and creating mismatches against defenses. This potential move also carries big implications for the division and playoff picture. If Waddle joins the Steelers, it could turn their offense into a much more potent threat, increasing their chances of winning close games and firmly establishing themselves as contenders in the AFC. The Steelers' defense, which is holding opponents to around 24 points per game, would benefit from having a more explosive offense to control time of possession and reduce the pressure on their defense. Plus, adding a playmaker like Waddle could push their win probability in crucial situations, especially in the red zone and on third down, leading to more victories and higher seeding in the AFC. Now, looking at the bigger picture, the Steelers' Super Bowl odds would likely see a significant shift. Currently pegged at plus 1,500, some betting markets suggest that a Waddle acquisition could drop those odds to plus 600 or better. That's a huge jump, reflecting the belief that Waddle could be the missing piece to propel Pittsburgh into serious Super Bowl contention. His contested catch rate of about 37% and the ability to beat elite cornerbacks like Ward would allow the Steelers to neutralize some of their biggest defensive challenges. Think about how players like Hill have elevated the Dolphins' odds this year. With Waddle, Pittsburgh could neutralize some of the division's top defenses, such as Cincinnati's or Cleveland's, and create mismatches that they can exploit throughout the postseason. But let's not forget the broader implications. This is a move that signals Pittsburgh's aggressive approach to contention. The Steelers have historically been cautious with big trades, but if this move goes through, it shows they're willing to push all in to maximize Kenny Pickett's window and give him the weapons needed to succeed. It's a statement that Pittsburgh sees itself as a legitimate Super Bowl contender and believes Waddle's talent could be the catalyst to push them over the top. Now, of course, there are questions and skeptics on the Dolphins' side. They're in a rebuilding phase, focusing on the future rather than immediate results. Giving up Waddle might be part of a broader strategy to reset and focus on developing their younger players and building cap flexibility. Their offense has been inconsistent, with high turnovers and a reliance on a few key players. They're prioritizing offensive line extensions and trying to develop their roster for long-term success, even if it means sacrificing some production in the short term. Meanwhile, the Steelers are looking at this as a chance to solidify their offensive core and take a step closer to genuine Super Bowl contention. If Waddle joins, it's not just about adding a big-name receiver. It's about transforming the entire offense, making it more explosive, more dynamic, and more unpredictable. Pittsburgh's coaching staff, led by Mike Tomlin and offensive coordinator Matt Canada, would have a new toy to scheme around, and that's the kind of addition that can turn a good team into a great one. It's all about elevating the offense to complement a stout defense and ensuring they're not just playoff contenders but Super Bowl fighters. In terms of the division, this move could also shake things up. The AFC North is already one of the most physical, competitive divisions in the league, with teams like Cincinnati, Baltimore, and Cleveland all vying for supremacy. Adding Waddle to the Steelers' arsenal could give them an edge, especially in games where explosive plays are the difference. It could also create a ripple effect, forcing division rivals to respond with their own moves or adjustments in the draft and free agency. So what does this all mean for Steelers fans? It's exciting. It's a sign that the organization is serious about competing at the highest level and that they're willing to make bold moves to get there. Waddle's addition could be the spark that propels Pittsburgh into the upper echelon of the league, turning their offense into a nightmare for defenses and boosting their chances at a deep playoff run. The potential pairing of Waddle and Pickens would be a matchup nightmare, stretching defenses vertically and forcing secondaries to pick their poison. Now, I know some of you might be skeptical, wondering if this trade will actually happen or if it's just speculation. But history has shown us that in today's NFL, big trades like this are not out of the realm of possibility, especially as teams look to maximize their Super Bowl windows. Pittsburgh has the cap space, the draft capital, and the motivation to make a move like this if the opportunity arises. And if it does, Steelers fans, get ready for a roller coaster ride in the months ahead because this could be the move that shifts the entire landscape of the AFC North. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Steelers news, rumors, and analysis. This team is on the cusp of something big, and whether or not this trade happens, one thing is for sure. Steelers Nation is more fired up than ever. Let's keep that passion alive and keep believing in our team. We're all in this together, and the best is yet to come for the black and gold. Remember, folks, football is a game of inches, and sometimes a single player can make all the difference. The potential addition of Waddle could be that difference maker for Pittsburgh. So buckle up, stay loud, and let's see what the future holds. Because in Steelers country, we always believe that brighter days are ahead, especially when we're talking about adding a talent like Waddle to our roster. That's the kind of move that can turn dreams into reality, and I, for one, can't wait to see how this story unfolds. Stay with us for all the latest, because the best is yet to come.